Today is May 8th, 2024. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's a good day to join a cult. Channeling in from the Quantum Downs, this is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul, and I've got some friends joining me.
Hello, it's me, Dotta, the Orange Puppet, and joining us on stage is...
What's up, Business
What's
Bear?
up?
Let's get it. Who else do we have up here? We got
Marketing Wizard checking in. Hello, everyone.
What up, Entropy? New piece of the puzzle.
Lag delayed Tad Major. What's up, guys?
What's up, Tad?
What's up? Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
The speaker of the community, the speaker of the cult himself.
Well, welcome everybody. We have a bunch of announcements to make, but none of them will we actually announce today.
Wow, jerk.
So that takes care of the first cult question from Bill, which is when Runeverse, when Goblin Town, when announcements, when floor go up. So Dotta or Bear, do you guys want to add anything that
Nope,
anything to that?
not really.
Yeah, I'd love for Dotta to explain it, but I'm not gonna do
it.
Soon trademark.
Yeah, sorry guys. Listen, we are grinding away. Like something happened on Monday that just put me in a really good mood. I don't know. I feel like all internally at Magic Machine, we're all just like hyping each other up, and it's exciting. And you know, none of this Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying, boys?
I've been really heads down negotiating with a lot of people, and haven't really I haven't really tweeted as much lately. I was just talking about this. Like, part of the reason why I've been tweeting all these images, I mean, one, just because they're fun and beautiful, but also, like, I have no words to say publicly because I'm just, like, negotiating all the time. And so once we get the negotiations done, we can talk about how great everyone is. But until then, you're just going to get a lot of paperback D&D imagery from me.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say this might continue for yet another month. So, bear with us. Honestly, I think it'll be really the timing will work out for, the next wave of bull market vibes that I think the market will see this summer. So I think it's all going to sync up quite in a quantum synchronous way. Let's put it that way.
Elf has this crystal ball that tells him the future on his desk.
It's true.
Elf is surprisingly good at kind of detecting the upcoming market sentiment. Yeah, so I believe you.
I love it. Also, let's have a little reminder here. People, please comment, like, retweet, share the link. Entropy has trained me. I love it. It's going back to our old YouTube days, Elf. Like, comment, subscribe.
Smash that wizard button for magic on your timeline.
Yeah, there we go. Get it done. You want people to know about us? That's what it takes. It takes a little bit of effort here and there.
Yeah, seriously though, everybody just I posted it up top. I posted the tweet. Like the tweet. I only see 8 likes, and there's 50 people in the space. So let's see those likes.
Yeah, I want more people to come to this space to hear my tirade on the guns versus swords discourse. I think it's going to be one of the most fun things I've talked about in a while. Which also speaks to, even though we can't make any, I guess, like project announcements soon, there's a lot happening on the lore front. I talked about cult members contributing to the map last week. I've got a handful of you so far who have done so. Your locations mostly have been entered on the map. So it's coming along nicely. The lore website is coming along nicely. I think what I'm going to do actually, though, because the design of the site itself is taking a while, I think I'm just going to put all of the content into the Wikipedia. And that way it'll get distributed faster. But yeah, we've also got a lot of fun lore questions to talk about today, in addition to the guns versus swords discourse. And it looks like Entropy, you put dead internet in the title as well. Were
That was
you
me.
Dotta, you want to talk about dead internet?
No, not really. I was just trying to make the title more interesting. We can change it as we go.
Wait, didn't we have like an argument over this not too long ago?
Yeah, basically,
internet?
Dotta disagreed with me, but now I think he agrees with me.
Well, he's just using it as clickbait because he's trying to grow the cult. Good job,
Yeah,
Dotta.
exactly. I'm in my influencer era. I put random inflammatory stuff in the titles now.
Oh, well, I totally understand that. I tried to make an inflammatory post about AI art the other day, but unfortunately, it sounded like everybody agreed with me again. So I guess it wasn't that controversial.
It's tough being right all the time.
It really is, man.
That was a particular one that I was like, all right, I want to. This is like a good thread. There's good stuff in here. I want to repost this to the main account, but I am afraid of the other side of the conversation. I check back like 3-4 hours later, and everybody's like, "Yep, great point.
Yeah, no,
No one arguing against you."
no, Entropy, please post it to the main. I need people to argue with.
He really
I can't just
does.
argue with Dotta all the time.
I know. I know. Seriously, if he's not arguing with someone else, he's arguing with us. I love it. I love it. I feel like we're in a really good sort of groove right now, actually. So I like it.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, just on that post, real quick. I just one caveat I want to put in there, and I think everybody gets it, but it's, that post is not at all me saying, so therefore don't use AI tools to generate art. I am not saying that at all. Please continue to use them. It's like I wouldn't tell your aunt Susie to never use a camera to post a photo of her lunch at Chili's on Facebook. Like use the tools to make content. That's totally fine. I'm just trying to have a sort of nuanced discussion about what these tools mean, how they intersect with culture and art making. But anyway, please use the tools.
I read it and uninstalled all my MJ stuff, so oops.
Wait, what's that, Jitsi?
I said I read it and then I unsubscribed to MJ, so there's that.
Okay. By the way, Jitsi, your PFP is incredible. Who made that for you?
Entropy did, dude. It's so smooth brain looking. I love it. Probably used AI.
Yeah, Entropy. You never made me one, but how did you make those actually?
I know. Yeah, you got to shoot me your wizard number, and I'll gladly make one for you. So
It's number
basically,
one.
what I'm doing there is I'm taking the 3D renders that you can get by using the WizBot in our Discord. It's exclamation point 3D Wiz and then your number, and so it gives you that really nice rendered view of the 3D models. And then I take that, crop it, throw it into Photoshop, and use the content aware scale tool to basically kind of downscale the actual image. But what it's doing is it's trying to preserve important features such as like eyes and mouths and arms and things that like the tool is really meant to be able to very slightly adjust people or places to fit a little better into other things in your scene.
Right.
But it can totally be used for this very crunchy our models. I've been thinking around a way to like make these for people and kind of distribute them more. Yeah, I gotta get mine on there too. They're pretty funny. They've been giving me a good giggle.
So good, man. Yeah, my wizard number is 1, of course. So
Speaking of insider cult content that I don't know how to make, DowX Lab just posted a legit like NES ASCII art like piece that I have no idea how it was made. So DowX Lab, you got to tell us. You got to share your secrets.
Don't tell Dotta. Don't tell Dotta.
No, it's so funny you say that because I was literally just DMing DowX Lab like 5 minutes ago about it. Homeboy is up to some amazing stuff. Did you know that he put an NES emulator in the Book of Lore?
No, that's fun.
What?
I know.
Wait, what?
Yeah. No, he's a techno mage that I had no idea how deep his technomancy went. But yeah, he does far more than just generate these mid-journey AI images. He's got a full emulator in the Book of Lore. So I'm gonna schedule some time to chat with him later. But yeah, he's doing awesome stuff.
Oh, I'm commenting on that tweet right now. I need one immediately.
That's incredible. The emulator part, I didn't even know about that. I've been having some chats with Dox Lab to make a custom generation for my wizard too that I got to post this week too. I got to look into this more.
Such good stuff. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's go ahead and jump to some cult questions. I think I'll just start out with a little life question from Meeple. He says, "My grandfather was quoted as saying, 'Every kid steals, the lucky ones get caught.'" And then he shares an anecdote about him being busted for stealing a lighter from a gas station when he was 7. So the question is, did you ever get caught stealing as a child, and what impact did it have on you? You guys, anyone have an answer?
No.
I stole so many things. Oh
Mhm.
man. I I went through a phase. Just kidding. I mean, no, not really. But now I feel bad that I said that. But it's true. I don't know what was wrong with me. I know the first thing I ever stole.
Hey, as Meeple Dad's grandfather said, all kids steal. So don't feel bad. It's a thing that kids do.
Yeah, I don't know what
Um,
it is, but yeah,
but
no, I went to a grocery store. Do you remember those like sugar like liquid? It was like sugary liquid in wax bottles, and you like bite into the wax and
yep,
drain.
Yeah.
yep.
Remember those? I stole a pack of those out of a Woolworths. If you guys remember,
Yeah.
those
Yep.
things. I'm only 1,000 years old. Anyway, that was the first thing I stole, and I got away with it. I never got caught for stealing, so maybe I don't really agree with people dad's grandfather's statement.
Dota, did you ever steal and get caught?
I don't think I've ever stolen anything from anyone ever. Someone
Oh
will have to
my
correct me
god.
if you know. I don't.
Wow.
You
I
stole
just
my life.
I'm just scared of getting caught. I think like I have like a very active like conscience slash worry, and I feel like if I stole something, I would just I would think I'm gonna get caught like constantly. So it's just like I don't want to get caught. I have to think. I'm surely I've stolen something from someone at some point, but I like never like stole from a store as a kid. I'll tell you what. I took my daughter camping for Girl Scouts, and we went to this museum. This like a museum, like an old fort museum in Texas. It was in the middle of nowhere, and they had this was like literally like last weekend or 2 weeks ago. I came home and they had this beautiful violin, and there was no cameras,
And your daughter
and
stole it.
the only person watching was this old lady who manned the museum, and she was looking at her computer, and I was like, they would not miss musical exhibit 872. There's no cameras. I could get out of here with this violin, and it was beautiful. It was like wood from the 1800s. And I came home and I told my wife, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seriously considered stealing something before until just now.
Wow.
You're
Yeah,
growing. You're growing as
I'm
a
growing.
person.
I'm growing. So yeah,
I,
progress.
I got a good one.
Yes,
Yeah, what
let's
is it?
hear it.
When I was, gosh, I don't remember how old I was exactly, but Microsoft had a website set up with a bunch of mini games on it. And you could play the games and earn points, and then you could redeem the points for prizes. Prizes such as
Uh huh.
Microsoft merch, copies of Windows 95,
Uh-huh.
lots of things in there. 9, 10, 11 years old, I figured out that I
Oh.
ended up getting enough points to redeem multiple copies of Windows 95, which I first used to upgrade the family computer, and then I sold the rest.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, that reminds me. If we count digital stuff, then I've probably stolen a lot.
Oh
I
Yeah.
use
There you go.
Yeah.
wow. There he
I
is.
use
High five, baby!
I use
Oh,
Napster like a lot, like a lot.
Same.
Stealer.
Yeah.
Dota, did you ever get that MP3 of you? I did not have sexual relations with that woman. However, I did visit www dot whatever. Did you ever get that when you try to get a song?
No, but I love the idea. I don't know what you're talking about though.
What
Yeah, you know what I'm
what
talking about. They would like put like random popular songs with like with like the title of the song. You download it,
Yes.
and back then you
Yes.
could really like preview it, and songs took like probably like half a day to download back then with like the internet speed. And you would get it after waiting half a day, and it's literally just like an ad that's like making fun.
Yes. Definitely got that for sure.
The internet used to be cool, but now it's dead. And now I fulfilled that topic on our title.
Thank you.
Well played. Check that off.
I have an interesting story when I was
Okay,
younger.
let's hear it.
I was younger, and I was in a bodega with a friend, and we were kind of just like browsing around, and we had no money, but we really wanted snacks, and we were just like, you know what, let's see, maybe we'll get something from it. And like I was like, I don't know. And then we decided, all right, sure. We were pondering it and kind of looking at the shelves and kind of like toying with it in our hands, and then some guy comes up from behind us, and he leans in close to us, and he says, I know what you kids are doing. And we're like, oh my god, he knows. And then he proceeds to say, here, I'm going to cause a distraction. Grab the ring dings from me.
Nice.
Like, what? And then he proceeds to go, hey, you guys have coffee over here? I need some coffee. Give me a cup of coffee. He just starts yelling obnoxiously. We look at each other and we're just like, okay. And we just grab a bag of chips and then grab his ring dings and we roll out. He meets up with us after. He meets up with us after. We're like, who is this guy? We called him Super Stallone because he had like a very thick like Sylvester Stallone accent, and he wore like a Superman belt buckle. And he was like, you kids aren't bad. Why'd you come here more often and we do this? And we were like, no. Like, we're like, yeah. We're like, no thanks. No. Like, thinking back, obviously that dude was trying to take advantage of like, yeah, these kids can just rob for me. And then I was just
I love that story. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was so hilarious. We were like, "Oh no, we got caught. We didn't even steal anything. We got caught."
Hell yeah, Matto. That's good. Yeah, I don't think I ever got caught when I was a kid. So I definitely stole, but never got caught. Okay, well, let's see. There's a few more questions. Let's see. VMark is asking. Actually, VMark, this is a good question. VMark wants to know, is there a question about the Runeverse you would like to know the answer to? VMark, this is actually a genius question because every Wizard Wednesday, it's the cult who's been asking me or us about Runeverse questions. But the Runeverse is being built by all of us. So now you're asking if I have any questions for you about it. And here's my answer. Honestly, every day, you all answer that question for me on Twitter, in the side projects, in the Book of Lore, in the Weezypedia. I mean, I like that. That's what I want. Those are my questions for you. Like, tell me about your characters. Last week I asked about telling me about your map locations. I think one really interesting specific question that I'd love to see more of is like, tell me about the relationships between the characters, not just about the character themselves, but the relationship between the characters. This is it's all the space in between characters that define a world. And so, I think like I'd love to see a lot more just story collaboration between cult members' characters. That really sets up just really compelling storytelling. But yeah, I mean, VMark, everyone here answers that question every day. So that's my answer. Okay. And then actually, VMark has another question, which is if the beasts were locked up behind the gate of the seventh realm, who closed the gate? Like, how did they get there? And then he's also asking, will there be a Beast season 2? So let's go back. First of all, the beasts were released from the gate about 2 years ago. I think it was April of 2022. The gate was, I might say, quite recklessly opened by a group of 42 wizards. Half of them had keys, half of them had spells. And they opened the gate in about 5 minutes. I would say not even knowing what they were opening, not knowing what kind of chaos and hell they were releasing upon the world. They just opened the gate. And out of that gate came 7 beasts. which were quickly captured by 7 beast masters within that week. And those beasts are within the possession of the beast masters to this day. But to answer your question, how were they confined to the 7th realm in the first place? I got to say, the answer to that question will be revealed in the TV show. And I can also say that there are certain factions in the Runeverse who wish to see them returned to the gate as well. All of that is a major storyline in the TV show. As far as season 2 of the Beastgate, personally, I just really want to see that the stories of the first 7 to be fully told in their proper form before we really do a season 2. But Bear, Dotta, I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about Beast season 2.
I think that we have to make sure that Beast season 1 is kind of like fleshed out. I think that like there's a few parts with Beast season 2, right? There's like the stories, and then there's the tokens, right? So like everything with NFTs, there's both kind of like a narrative element and an economic element. And I think that like we have to be really careful around kind of ever changing the like we have to be conscious of kind of any economic element. So I for sure wouldn't want to release any new beast tokens. But you and I, all of us, we had beasts that I wouldn't say they didn't make the cut for season 1. It was just like they didn't make it into season 1, right? Like there are already actually other beasts that are kind of known to us, but not known to everyone else. And I think we're looking forward to releasing more, but there's no real plans. I think one of the things we talk about is like, how much do we do to develop the stories of the current ones? When do we release the old ones? Do we want, or the new ones? Do we want to release them kind of, with the tokens, before the tokens? I'm not sure.
We were just discussing it earlier today. Funny
Yeah.
enough.
Yep. Yeah, I just want them to be expressed more in this in these big media expressions, because there is massive storylines around it. Okay, Pony Boy is asking the I guess the titular question of the day, basically about guns versus swords. Do you guys want me to go into my tirade yet, or do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because I feel like this might take a while.
Go rant.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Pony Boy, I think Pony Boy's been asking this question for weeks now. First, let me just read his question. So he's asking, how do warriors deal with less skilled soldiers with guns? Our world, IRL, was massively reshaped when nameless peasants with muskets and 2 weeks of training could take down career warriors with 20 years of skill and expensive equipment. How do warriors avoid this downfall in the Runeverse? Or is that their biggest weakness and their Achilles heel? Or are warriors just more counter wizard fighters? Or are they giants among men in all aspects of combat? Okay, so Pony Boy has basically just been asking about what the role of modern weaponry is in the Runeverse, and how does that relate to magic and old world technology. And really all this amounts to is a classic internet debate that is often framed as the guns versus swords discourse. Dotta, can you mute? Thanks, buddy. Okay, so it's time for us to enter the classic guns versus swords discourse. It's a long time coming. I've got a lot to say on it. And how does this whole debate come into the Runeverse? As I said, you can find this debate on countless internet forums. And the whole thing boils down to guns being far more practical, realistic, utilitarian, efficient, and as Pony Boy is illustrating, basically overpowered, in that a far weaker warrior could easily defeat a highly skilled warrior who is armed only with a melee weapon. Child soldiers with guns could easily defeat a seasoned, battle-worn warrior with swords. Guns are incredibly effective if the goal is simply to win the battle. So then why swords? Well, because swords are far more aesthetic. They're more romantic. They have an air of honor and bravery and skill and this sort of old world appeal. The image of a barbarian or a ninja or a pirate or a knight with a sword has far more beauty and aesthetic than a modern warrior with a gun. Writers and artists and creators and world builders have been tackling this issue for decades. Star Wars, for example, Star Wars has guns and swords in the form of blasters and lightsabers. Obi-Wan Kenobi specifically addresses this. He tells Luke that lightsabers are an elegant weapon and they're not, quote, they're not so clumsy or random as a blaster. And then in a funny scene later, Obi-Wan is forced to use a blaster. And after using it, he says, so uncivilized. We see other variations of this in other media. Batman famously refuses to use a gun. So do the Ninja Turtles, and they both do so on moral grounds. Jitsi shared a classic scene today on Twitter. Indiana Jones, or in one of the Indiana Jones movies, there's a scene where a swordsman threatens Indy with a really flashy display of swordsmanship, only to be shot a second later by Indy's gun, which sort of cuts the scene hilariously short with an anticlimax, as if to say, hey, swordsman, your aesthetics are totally unnecessary, ineffective, and superfluous. This gun will finish the job quickly and effectively. And, this scene is actually pretty genius in that not only does it express the efficiency of a gun by quickly ending the aesthetics of this swordsman, but it also works on a meta level. It removes the aesthetics from the film itself, abruptly cutting the scene short. Like it literally kills the opportunity for a 2-minute scene of artful, choreographed filmmaking. And so, it's such a classic scene that just speaks to this guns versus swords discourse. So the point is that all these fictional worlds they deal with this debate in with their own sort of in-world rules. And so then the question is, as Ponyboy has been trying to get me to address for weeks, the question is, how does the Runeverse address this? What are the so-called in-world rules for this sort of debate? So, okay, let me try to answer your question, Ponyboy. We all know that the Runeverse is primarily a world where magic is a dominant force. Magic is, first and foremost, an art form. In fact, sometimes it's referred to as the, quote, arcane arts. So as an art form, aesthetics, not pragmatism reigns supreme. It's all about aesthetics. So if magic is a dominant force in this world, it means that aesthetics are incredibly important. Magic spells only work when they are deployed with a certain amount of style and showmanship. And we see this in other media as well. In The Lord of the Rings, Elrond casts a spell on a river to drown the Nazgul, and Gandalf comes in and adds a touch of aesthetics. He makes the waves appear as white horses. This is important to the art form. In our comic, in the Forgotten Runes comic book, Riley always is looking for excuses to draw really beautiful spells. If you see the way Riley draws the spells, it's the thing he loves to draw most, and he's always trying to get Joe to like really make the spell casting very dramatic. Riley will put like demons into the spells. He'll make snakes come out of people's mouths, and he just he goes overboard in trying to make it the most aesthetic experience as possible. The point is that aesthetics are important, and magic spells only work when they are deployed with a certain amount of style and showmanship. I would even go so far as to say, even in real life, in our cult, we overemphasize creativity as a magical art form that brings the characters and the worlds to life. The magic of world building itself, in which we are all engaged is primarily an aesthetic exercise. So in the Runeverse, on an internal narrative level and an outside meta level, it's a world where the culture of beauty and aesthetics are valued above efficient pragmatism. So it is within this cultural backdrop that even though warriors who notoriously do not use magic, for a soldier to decide to pick up a gun over a sword would simply be counterintuitive and maybe even blasphemous. A warrior wielding a sword with enough style and pizzazz, with enough honor and bravery, with enough artistry, is indeed engaging in a type of warrior magic. And though they would never, or though they would proudly call this pure might and not at all magic. But in this world, there is inherently some magic in any art form, and swordsmanship is an art form. Uh, Unlike with a gun or really any other mechanical device, if it is lacking artfulness, it will be lacking effectiveness. So, one could imagine that these very pragmatic guns would find their dispassionate bullets missing their marks. One could imagine boring machines being easily manipulated by a wizard's artful spell, or having its parts ceremoniously sliced with the style of a keen blade of a swordsman. These acts are sensational, dramatic, and the stories that tell them are more compelling, thus leveraging the aesthetic and becoming more real. And so, what I'm essentially saying is that there's a reason that Star Wars and countless anime and tons of other media opt for swords over guns. It's simply because it's aesthetic and it's romantic. And aesthetics make for more compelling stories, and more compelling stories make for more engaging worlds. And I want the Runiverse to sort of reflect that meta concept. The Runiverse is a piece of art. It's not to be over rationalized, it's to be over romanticized. And so you can definitely put guns and robots and mecha suits and cars and computers and all this technology in your stories. It's totally fine. I want you to do that, because they do indeed exist in the Runiverse. In fact, you can see examples of this in the actual Warrior collection, in the Athenaeum. Even some of the wizards are augmented with technology. You can see it in Rune's TCG and the Black Sands pony racing. Those are mecha ponies. But just note that, like, the computer has a ghost in it. The robots use the magic infused X7 chip. And 7, by the way, is all the colors of the magic. The film camera, the boombox, the cassette tape, the Game Buddy, all of these are deliberately designed as vintage because that nostalgia adds an aesthetic layer. Some of the warriors even wield flamethrowers, and this isn't so much as a warrior trying to wield a devastatingly effective weapon. It's a warrior imitating a pyromancer. Um, Hell, even the use of pixel art in the core NFT is a vintage anachronism that leverages the magic of pure imagination. All of the tech in the Runiverse, inside and out, carefully optimizes aesthetics to aid their effectiveness. Um, so, I'm almost done, but honestly, there's so much more to say on this debate. There's so many caveats and questions you could pose, like, well, what if my warrior just makes a really beautiful aesthetic gun and fires it with the most style he can possibly muster? Would that suddenly be an artful way to use a gun? I really think these questions are for you to debate, because that's what's great about this debate. As I said earlier, magic and versus technology is a fundamental question that is not only alive in our IRL community, but is also alive in the Runiverse itself. The blue wizards in particular are engaged in this very question. For they're the ones with the most technology, and they're the most scientifically inclined. They've sort of taken on this counterintuitive task of merging magic and science. And the result is the discipline of alchemy. But that's a whole other topic for another time. So, Ponyboy, I hope that's a satisfying answer to your question. So there it is.
Matt Jose, you've got your hands up.
Hey, I just wanted to give some advice to any of the warriors out there using guns. If any of you guys have ever seen this popular movie from like the early 2000s, maybe it was around 2010, called Equilibrium, they had a style of fighting in there called gun kata, where they're able to add an aesthetic overlay to these their wielding of guns and whatnot.
It was a super good movie. I remember that. It's with what's his face? Who's the actor?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, in fact, this is one reason I'm actually so excited that Derek is a partner on the show, because if you've watched Nobody or John Wick, I mean, let's just focus on Nobody. The scene, the bus fight scene, Derek loved adding aesthetics and choreography into a fight scene. He understands like the appeal of doing that in filmmaking. Quentin Tarantino is another example. So I'm imagining like in the show, we're not just going to see wizards just casting spells. The whole scene has to be carefully designed to just evoke the importance of aesthetics within casting magic spells.
Yeah, we're gonna do violence very interestingly.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so yeah, I again, Ponyboy, I hope that answers your question. I know you've been asking it for weeks, and I haven't really fully filled it out yet, but hopefully I did.
I think I also pointed out in the Discord that like even in like Star Wars, they address that there's like this like forbidden technique in Star Wars as like when you think about it, like you can turn a lightsaber on and off. So like why wouldn't you just be like turn it off like while your opponent's swinging at you and then just like stab him with it, right? Like turn it back on to stab it, right? And so like they actually address this in like the outer, like because Star Wars has like this extended universe. So it's like they addressed it where it's like considered a forbidden technique, and it's like why wouldn't you do it? Because it's weak, like right? Like the Jedi wouldn't do it because it's disrespectful, and the dark side wouldn't do it because it shows weakness. Like you can't defeat your opponent unless you're doing something like really stupid like that, like right? So it's like, despite the fact that it's like you're fighting to win, you're fighting with your life on the line. It's like, no, we still have enough respect and honor for this sword fight that we will not do the most obvious thing and just like trick you out so that we can like teleport the blade into your body, right? Like
1,000%. That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, these are fictional worlds, but I would say, even the real world has engaged in these sort of codes of honor and fighting. The Middle Ages was defined by really rigid codes of chivalry. And there's all kinds of like cultural import in martial arts, and it's super important. The goal isn't always to just win. It's like you have to insert your humanity and your culture in the process.
Sometimes you don't steal the violin, even though you could get away with it, because it just doesn't fit into the rule of cool.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, and then I think we have one more question, Jason. Honestly, Jason, I'm not sure what you mean by this question. He says, "Yar, how many doubloons?"
Hey, I had a quick question, if that's
Yeah,
okay.
go for it.
Can you guys hear me?
Can.
Yeah, we hear you.
Is there going to be any way for the community in DAO to track statistics of sales and things over time, like quarterly statistics and stuff like that? Speaking on like the magazines and comic books and stuff.
Dotta, Bear, do you guys have an answer to that?
I missed it. What was the question?
Answer. I think that eventually. So, for example, like let's say the comic book. We don't have like. Okay, so let's roll back to a second. So one of the things we've talked about with the comic book is how folks are going to get a royalty for the IP used in their characters. We with the comic book, it's not profitable. It's not anywhere close to being profitable yet. Um, and we intend to, but we're still going to pay folks out because we are excited about the process and we think it's important that kind of like the people's. It's not just enough to like see your IP being used in the comic book. You also want to get paid for it. Like the economic component is part of the anchor of what we're trying to do. And so it's not like there's these hard numbers, which is like, oh, we sold these many issues, so you're getting this much money. That said, I do think that's important as we kind of grow. We're figuring it out, right? We're figuring out what is the right model for this kind of collaborative IP. One of the things that let's see. I think that as we go and as things get more formalized, we'll have an easier time kind of publishing these reports, right? Like a transparency report. How many comics were published each time, or how much money came in from the television show, right? Like, I think that we'll get better at organizing that as we make more of a protocol for the like IP rights. But you just have to bear with us, like as we're booting it up. I guess that's
Yeah, the way I imagined it was like maybe wizard holders go to a section of the website that's token gated, and you can see all those statistics or something. That's the only reason I asked.
That's fun, yeah. I think like at the current time, yeah, I don't think that like it's hard. I think we're just trying to figure it out. Like, as I think when you just commit to publishing transparency reports, you can't really go back on it. And so it's like we have to figure out what's the right model um, for everyone long term, I suppose. Like idea, because our instinct, right, as Web3 is to be like, let's just make everything public. Let's publish every single issue that was sold and where it was sold, and like why not, right? Like let's have it open. And it turns out, like in the real world, there's actually like lots of reasons why not. And so we can talk about those offline, I suppose. But yeah.
If you were to provide that data to holders, could that get you in trouble with like the SEC or anything like that? Because it makes you seem like we're getting these for investments or something.
We definitely don't want that to be a confusion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we for sure don't want that.
No investment. They are simply using my character licensed out, and I'm getting payback for that. That's all.
Speaking of the latest cover that has Magus Devon in that issue, very excited. I don't think that I actually even have issue 4 yet.
It's so good. We have it in the cave. We'll have to send you guys. We'll have to send everybody a
Yeah,
package.
I need Nalgene
Yeah, it just came out
send me a
today, right?
stack.
I'm super excited to see him. Yeah, I went to my comic shop yesterday, and I think the order delivery is coming in next week, but I'll be over there picking it up as soon as I can.
Yeah, I got the delivery today, but
Amazing.
I couldn't wait, so I ended up buying it on Amazon. I can buy a digital copy of it. And
I was on the phone. Go ahead, Zach.
Are they gonna have the aluminum like cover, like the tin?
No,
like
I don't think we're doing the foil cover for every single one. But we're definitely going. We did, I think, for the first 2, the game codes in the first 2, and then for the graphic novel, which will be the first 5 comics bound together, plus some really awesome extra, actually a lot of extra pages and content. We'll have some special covers. So I think we'll revisit it then.
I don't know if I'm supposed to like unmute and say, "All right, thank you" after every question. So like,
you're good.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good.
Say. Don't think too hard.
I'm just hanging
pretty
there in the bear
lax on our
cave.
Twitter Space format.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm super excited that we've gotten into volume 4, right? Like I think like there's like even if other NFT projects like so I think some of them have like they've done comics and usually do like web only. And like I think there's even some that they actually do have like a first volume that they've actually had physical copies of, but like I don't think there's any project that's actually had like a huge like actual run of like here multiple volumes of a comic, right? And like part of that has to do with like the fact that we just have like a lot of stories that we can bundle into it. And like even with that, we're only just like briefly touching on stories here or there too. So I think it's really cool just seeing that come into fruition and seeing like a lot of cult content being brought into it and like Easter eggs and stuff. Like I like looking through a lot of the illustrations have a lot of love in them where they're throwing like Easter eggs, like they'll throw like a milk bottle with the Canaanite head on it or something to like show the milk go. Like that's really cool. Stuff like that. Showing that they're actually to like what.
I actually don't know which NFT projects have comics in
Blipmap.
stores.
Blipmap, I think, is the only other one.
Yeah, I think it's just Blipmap. But even then, like I said, I think it's just one volume.
Pudgy Penguins have their plushies in.
I don't. I think people are trying to talk and they're getting cut off. Zay, I can't hear Zay. Can you guys hear Zay?
No.
he's breaking up.
Okay, Zay, nobody can hear you, buddy.
We were just talking about the comic today, weren't we, Elf?
Yes, in fact, what I was going to say is, even though Blipmet might have a physical comic out, I'm not sure that the content in their comic is community created and owned, which is just such a beautiful aspect of our comic. It's as I've said before, it's just such a strong proof of concept for what the entire project is trying to do. I was reviewing issue 1 through 5 myself last night, and one thing that's really fun about all these issues is each issue, all 5 of them, feature a community-owned character in a major way. Issue 1 features Adept Hadrian, which is O's wizard. Issue 2 features Mystic Willow, which is Chuck's wizard. Issue 3 features Magus Wazir, which is Waz's wizard. Issue 4 features Magus Devon, which is Mado's wizard. And am I allowed to say who issue 5 features? I'm not going to spoil it, but
no,
it's
don't.
okay, yeah. It's another community wizard. And that's just so cool. Like, community owned characters are major characters in the comic. In addition to all the fun little Easter eggs that are in there, like Matto mentioned, there's a ton of like background and secondary characters that are also owned by the community. So yeah, I just love the comic.
It was fun to like craft a royalty structure around all those different sort of roles that we defined for the licensing agreements. I actually copied. I don't know if I ever talked about it. I think I did. Copied the SAG-AFTRA actor sort of guidelines in terms of like how we define those different things. Which is kind of sort of neat to be able to have different types of engagement as a holder and appear in the comic.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like treading a lot of new ground, right, Bear? I mean, nobody's really done something like this before, and we had to kind of create it.
Yeah, no, we really did, and I think that's what was kind of nice about using like sort of not ripping off, but like taking from and being inspired by like real guilds that support and represent artists like actors and writers and all that stuff. And so I totally see a world where the stuff we're doing now, even from like a structure standpoint or like agreement standpoint, rights standpoint, end up making their way into unions, like the entertainment unions. It makes complete sense.
We are defining precedent.
It's whatever.
We're definitely seeing like the first AI influencers, and I don't think it's a huge stretch to imagine that somebody takes their wizard and the 3D model and their lore and mixes that all together into an AI version of it. And I'm personally not going to have my wizard out there advertising Gatorade or Prime drinks or something like that, but that's an avenue.
I want face rigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I
I'll
would love to do
advertise
some
so much
live streaming.
Gatorade if we can get face rigs.
Dr. PP, hello, sir.
Wagwan, what going on, brothers? We having a good day, yeah, boy.
Hey, go
Go
PP.
PP. Go PP.
What's going on?
What up,
How you
boy?
guys doing?
We're good. How you doing?
Good, man. Haven't talked to you in forever. It's nice to
been
see
a
everyone
while.
cooking. Yeah, man. It's we're still out here. These are the
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. These are the
Hell
21 boys. 2021 boys. Let's go, dude.
That's
Let's
right.
go. We're still going, man. We don't even know how to stop.
Yeah,
We
dude.
wanted to.
Yeah, dude.
What's been going on with you?
Things are going well. So I was previously at a gaming company, and I left back in early fall of last year, and I'm fully working for my creative agency. And so we do like hype videos, ads, character-based animation, motion graphics, all that sort of stuff. And it's been crazy. Like I'm really grateful for this like current bull market that we're in, because like things are expanding, and man, it's fun. And it's fun to do this with people that you've been seeing that are like we're out here, we're gonna bust our ass and it's gonna work, and it is working. So it's like, it's nice, man. You know, everybody eats, feels good, man.
Hell yeah, Dr. PP. I mean, I don't know if you know, but since the last time you came, there was a huge meme about me saying "Go PP." And so I'm gonna have to
Really?
dig. I'm gonna have to dig that up. I'm gonna have to dig that up. And someone even like made a whole entire like litter box with the cat in it. It's really great. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
I got you, fam.
Oh,
I'll
that'd
dig
be
it up.
great. And in all, actually, Entropy, you might have made it. But in all seriousness, Dr. PP, we should totally talk because we're doing a lot of things that you may be able to help with.
Right on, man. Would love to. That sounds great.
Go PP.
Go.
Right on.
Just hold your meeting in the bathroom. I feel like that's the most appropriate place.
Bathroom Zoom. We've all done it. Don't even tell me you haven't.
Did you guys hear about that kid who's like 15 who just like signed in like his like first like angel check or something like that? He was taking meetings in high school, in the bathroom, and
No.
yeah, yeah, it was like some like AI startup or something like that, and like he got it. It's like, you know, if you present that you're home, you know, that's gonna get you somewhere.
It's called. But there's nothing more authentic than meeting in the bathroom.
It's true. It's true.
These NFT founders get younger every year.
Well, that kid's gonna make it clearly.
Bergum.
This does track though, like, you know, if I can reflect back on experiences of me and Emily like going out to the bars and stuff, she's made some like lifelong friends in the bathroom.
And we just lost Bear. I guess he had to go to the bathroom. Guess he had to go pee pee. Well, we only have about 9 minutes left. I think we should go over the Chronicle, but Dr. Peepee, did you just want to come up and say hi, or did you have any specific questions?
No, I'm sorry. I'm a bad holder. I just want to say hi to the homies and just, you know, say what's up and hope everyone's living well, and like, yeah, man. Sorry to interrupt.
No, nah, buddy, you can come up anytime.
Not at all.
You can come PP with us anytime.
Anytime.
Gangster. Right on. Hell yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, Bear, Dotta, how about we go over the cult content chronicle compiled by
The illustrious
Tanya Del Rio. Every damn week.
Week 68. We almost had a very smooth intro.
That was so close. I was gonna do every damn week, or we should do, one of us should do every and then damn and then week. That's what
that sounds way too hard.
Yeah.
We'll get it one of these days.
I don't say cuss words.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Dotta doesn't cuss also, so.
But before he does that, PP, go look at the pinned messages and go PP.
Oh yes.
That's not really true, by the way. I swear at Bear all the time.
Yes.
It's true. I know Dotta's being.
This was made for me.
When Dotta cusses, that's like, I get in my feels when Dotta cusses. He's like really getting into it. He feels something.
Yeah.
It makes you pee your pants.
Finally.
Okay, Chronicle, number 1, and actually this is a great one to start off with. I love this piece. Legatus commissioned a fun comic from Shadowy 30, and it's just an adorable story about 2 wizards making rainbows. It's so good. The story is fun. The art looks great. It's colorful. It features a coupling. It's just great. So yeah, it's one of my favorite pieces of the week.
Ooh, that seems like something we should give out a poke for. Elf's favorite piece of the week. Nah, you'd hate that. You'd hate to have to choose every week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Oh no, I could definitely do that. I love judging artwork.
Wait a minute, you said you hate art contests.
He's joking. He's joking.
Okay, God, I just fell for that. I fell for
that. Okay. No, but well, you know, it's funny. I do hate art contests, but I do love art criticism. But just defining a winner, just to me, it makes it too binary.
How about this? Everybody who appears in the Cult Content Chronicle is a winner.
There you go. Yeah.
Everybody gets an A.
We'll put it on Tanya to be the decider, not me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, moving on. Cosmic Birds visited the Bear Cave at one point and did an adorable, I'm going to say, post-it note mosaic of a kobold head. And, you know, not only do I love this because it's just a really well done recreation of accurate pixel art, but it also
It's so green, right?
it solves the age-old question of what color is a kobold. Because as everybody knows, post-its are yellow.
There's so many.
Plus, look at the picture. There's a green tree right above.
Which contrasts heavily with the yellow post-its.
Oh, I thought it was perfectly camouflaged in the tree. I couldn't even tell the
Oh,
kobold.
that's true. There's another tree to the left that kind of matches. Now I don't know what side to choose.
If you guys want to argue that post-its are green, then you're welcome to stay on the wrong side of history.
There are post-its, different color post-its, bro.
And yet these are the classic yellow.
Well, I don't see you
our
in the Bear
next
Cave.
content chronicle.
Our next piece of cult content.
She's here.
You know, and actually now that we're talking about favorites, this I'm gonna have to say this is my favorite because of course it's got a goat on it. And the creator of this piece is on stage right now. Emily, tell us about this amazing piece. If you want, or you can stay on mute. Oh, there you go.
Well, you caught me on a day that I just. Oh,
okay, Emily's.
I hope you.
Yeah, I can now.
Very.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Day, well, you just happened to catch me on a day where I was looking for a hobby to pick up, and you were like, "Do it," and I basically was like, "Okay, I'm doing it." And we went to Joann's within like the hour, and I learned how to do cross stitch by like a couple YouTube videos. And I just, thank you for the inspiration. I'm gonna be like the next cross stitching extraordinaire, basically. It was a pleasure to do it.
This was your first.
It's in the. Yes, it was my first one.
Amazing.
It's so good.
And
it's so good.
It's in the mail. It's gonna get to you tomorrow. So that's exciting.
Man, I can't.
So you can have it IRL.
I can't wait. I really can't wait. I've got a little collection of goats from cult members now, and it's some of my favorite thing. Sammy made me a ceramic goat about a year or two ago, and now I've got a cross stitch goat coming my way. Chemical Imbalance has made a goat rug. I think I've got a few other goats around, but yeah, if you guys want to send me goat art, you'll be elevated to a higher position in the cult. So thank you, Emily. It's amazing. It really is. It's one of my favorite pieces of the week, and I love
really
cross stitch. Yep. Okay, moving on. Daniela Illustra, the prolific Daniela Illustra. We've got the illustrious Tanya Del Rio, and we've got the prolific Daniela Illustra. Shared yet another piece. I think this is. I don't think this is Waz, because this wizard has like a wolf with them. But yeah, it's every damn week. Daniela has a new wizard sketch every damn week. I think Daniela is like making it like a story. I think this is part of like a bigger project, if I remember correctly. But yeah, super cool. Actually, Daniela has 2 entries in the Cult Content Chronicle. This other wizard, I think it's owned by Dominus Binet. Very cool.
Yeah, so hold on, just really quick, the comic that Danielle is working on is actually one that was funded by Art Ministry of the DAO. So
Yep.
yeah, that should be coming out, but that's why we're seeing a lot of more drawings too, because she's working on that, and I think that I'm really excited for that.
That makes sense. Yes, I remember that. So yeah, very cool. Okay, Magus Devon has a commission by SBR Galaxy. Matto, you always find just the most amazing artists. Very cool. Okay, Feckless Mage has a really fun doodle of a warrior trying to convince Crucifor not to sell. I guess that's what the story is. This is a badass warrior, by the way. He's got the sort of BDSM gear, and he's got a really cool sword. I mean, damn, that is a cool warrior, Crucifor. I'm not sure why you would sell it. It's a good-looking warrior. Feckless Mage also did a really fun doodle of Wild Mage's Wizard with a broom. Looks like he's ready to sweep. And then he's also got a fun doodle of Rafik, which is just a fun hooded wizard, a hydromancer wizard. Castamere with a great Lil Nas meme. Basically writing to his mother requesting tendies. I don't know what to say about this meme. Just go look at it. And then Jason is continuing with the Wizzy Vizzy viddies, the Dancing Wizard videos. By the way, Jason showed me this website that he's building a while back, and I got to say, I think it's a work of genius. I've never seen anything like it. If you want to go down a sort of technical labyrinthian rabbit hole, have Jason show you his website. It's pretty mind blowing. Igduel shared a really fun meme. It's basically a fight club meme, Runeverse style. I'm not going to explain it because once you explain memes, they're just not funny. So just go look at it. Clooney the Rat continues building on Nifty Island. Matto, he has built the Penguin Capital. That's exciting. Yeah, very cool. Penguin Capital actually made its way onto the map as well.
Yeah, very excited for that.
Yep. And then speaking of techno mages, Dowx Lab keeps sharing really fun gens. This one of Sorcerer Nazim of Arcadia. Dowx Lab is just doing some really cool stuff behind the scenes. I think we should try to bring more of it to light. Aijin Dark has a really fun project going for Shadow Holders. Shadow Holders, submit your information to Aijin Dark TCG. There's a card collection on ETH that is available to Shadow Ordinal holders, and they look amazing. I don't know if anyone has anything else they want to say about that, but it looks great. Okay, Bridge has been sharing a lot of really fun AI art lately. And Bridge, I encourage you to keep doing it. This particular one is pretty ridiculous. I think it's kind of making fun of Magic the Gathering players is what I'm gleaning from this meme, and maybe even Rune's TCG players. Meeple Dad is continuing with Riddles in the Dark. The answer to the last one was the Snake Shield. Ponyboy. Ponyboy shared a tweet about tarot cards, and apparently he will do a tarot card reading for you on the Twitter timeline, which is fitting because his wizard is indeed holding a card. Magic Monday news. Legatus, everybody's favorite Black Sand director. Legatus was the special guest for episode 55 of Magic Monday News. And the treat of the week was the taco. That's a good treat. And I think that's it for the Chronicle.
Yeah, two tiny things to tack on here too, if you
go
don't
for it.
mind. So Dr. Soul Pops placed second. Oh, let me pull up the whole thing here so I don't butcher it here. Was selected second in a film festival, an AI film making festival for Dream Master Lake, which is super cool.
Nice.
So pin that at the top here if you want to check it out. And then I was also asked to pass along a brief note that there is DAO spaces tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be some new proposals shared, so tune in for that if you would like to hear what the DAO is up to.
That's great. In fact, if anyone from the DAO wants to come up and we usually have a DAO update, but maybe we won't today. There's Wild Mage. Let's see. Wild Mage, hello, buddy.
Of something I wanted to announce as the resident mailman wizard in the community that the United States Postal Service canned food drive is going down nationwide this Saturday. They've done a terrible job at publicizing it, but it helps support a lot of local food banks. So I just wanted to shout that out.
That's great. You know, I haven't. You're right. I haven't seen one thing about that. I usually know about it.
They gave us some cards to give out to like every residential stop, and then they ran out, and then they just simply didn't have enough. And I don't know. They seem like they've just not put as much effort over the years in this, unfortunately. So I just want to just personally shout that out.
Appreciate that, man. Good call.
So the deal is that we could like take canned food to any USPS location. Is that kind of how they're running it?
Well, actually, your carrier is supposed to specifically pick it up as they deliver the mail on Saturday.
Mage, does this mean that
Very
you
cool.
will be physically carrying 200 cans of food, like in your mail bag, and walking around through the neighborhood like that? Is that what it means?
I don't exactly have a walking route, but you know, we end up carrying quite a bit though.
Amazing. I
So,
love it.
yeah, no, I was just thinking about that today. That it was just very unfortunate that they were not doing a very good job at pushing this. So most people didn't know, and I just posted on Facebook about it too. And I just thought, yeah, it'd be good to let you guys know.
Well, you know, I think everybody here, like right after Wizard Wednesday, should literally go to their mailbox, put a can of food in there, and see if your mailman will indeed pick it up. Because it sounds like that's the deal. That's pretty easy.
They'll probably go ahead and pick it up even if it's not Saturday, but Saturday specifically when we're supposed to pick them up.
I love it. That's a great PSA, Wild Mage.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anything else from anybody?
No, I don't have much to say today. I'm kind of quiet, surprisingly.
I think I'm good.
All right, then. In that case, let me just fire up Blondie. All right. This has been Elf, Dotta, Bearsnake, the battle for Goblin Town, the Shadows, Entropy, Matatsuki, Jitsi, Tad Major, your favorite mailman, Wild Mage. I believe we had Zela Sol up here. I believe we had Dr. Peepee up here. And of course, all of the wizards from Forgotten Runes Wizards Cult. Channeling out from the Quantum Downs. GN, everybody.
Bye.
Peace out.